not Thursday, Wednesday, September 10th. And I'm calling to order the regular board meeting for the Roseman Community Service District. Again, it is 6 p.m. Can I get a roll call, please?
Yes, Mr. President. Director Greg Wood.
Here.
Director Byron Blunt.
Here.
Director Rick Webb.
Here.
Vice President Gregory Washington.
I'm here.
President Ben Stewart.
Here.
Do you have a quorum present? General Manager Kim Domingo.
Here.
Director of Public Works John Houghton is absent today.
Here.
Oh, he is here. Sorry, my apologies. Attending via Zoom. I'm the Director of Administration. My name is Sherry Tim. And do we have legal counsel, Mr. John Como, on the line with us?
I am here.
Good evening, John. Hello, sir. Okay, thank you. All rise for the Pledge of Allegiance. Ready? Begin. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you. Is there any changes to the agenda?
No change.
Okay, do I have a motion to approve the agenda?
Motion approved.
Motion made by Director Webb. Do I have a second?
Second.
Second by Director Wood. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. All those opposed? Motion passes 5-0. This time I'm going to open the floor to public comments. At this time, any person who may address the board on any subject within the district's jurisdiction, which is not on the agenda. However, any non-agenda matter will be referred to staff for a report and or action at a subsequent board meeting, and no action can be taken on such item discussed unless the action has been authorized under the government code. Any person may also address the board on any agenda matter at the time the matter is discussed, prior to board consideration and action. Speakers are requested to limit their comments to 5 minutes.
Sounds good. My name is Luis Olmo, and I live in this community for 40 years. And I noticed the water bill keeping increasing time by time every year. Last year, that's landed with $600 water bill. This year, it got from $78 almost $200. And also that I noticed they start increasing again the sewer service in there fee for some reason. Because back in the time, probably a few years back, you put it at the property taxes. And I see they really start collecting now little by little. Eventually, there's going to be another increase in the sewer system. I don't know why. And, you know, the excuses, you know, like when I come in to the office, when I came to pay the bill last year, they say, well, you had a leak somewhere in your house. There's no such thing. You know, they use every single excuse they can. Because this happened back when they built this facility, they charged every single customer in groceries $100. And people, some of them complain, some they didn't notice, they just come and pay it. But I did notice, my neighbor, my dad, my brother, my sister-in-law, he said, why would, I asked him, you know, like, why you water bill was so high? He said, I don't know. Well, they just come and pay, nobody say anything, you know? And I say, well, I came to the meeting, he said, well, you have a leak, that's the same excuse to every customer. And I just would like to see what's going on, because, you know, the Antelope Valley, pretty much not Antelope Valley, because we have nothing to do with it, though. I don't know how you guys do business with that and how they get into the system, the Bosman. But Bosman start charging and complaining about that they win and drop. But look how many buildings they get it. They're building like crazy. If you have water, why you guys issue the permit to build in the first place? And then they use the water, well, they start charging more to the customers. So I mean, they use something's not right, something's not working the way it's supposed to. And then if my brother tried to build a house on 30th Street, said, well, it's gonna cost you $35,000 just to hook that. Really? It's kind of, it doesn't make sense to me. So I would like to see what, and, they already increased, a good increase of the water. And, you just say you can use only 400, square feet and then for a household. Well, we have 8 people in the house. How are you expecting with, with that kind of community, you can, use a little month? And then, and after that, you start charging double, triple, whatever they can. I mean, doesn't make sense. And because, every member here is making good money, but we're not. I'm living in a fixed income, it doesn't help me. Everything is going up. They don't care about, I mean, any level, the government here, it started here. Because the worst thing we have in Roseman, we're not a city. We're in incorporated area. We had no voice in the council member, Bakersfield. So I went to the meeting up there and say, hey, what's going on? You collected $50 million a year, property taxes, and we ain't getting crap back. So, so this, whatever is, increase wherever you guys do it here, I don't know how you guys do it, but it affected us. And you can see, there's only one person here. So it's like you guys do it because position closed over. That's all I have to say. So, I mean, this is, I don't know. I don't know, I just, we can get a little bit of help in this. And it's just not for me, because there's hundreds of people there that live in a big fixed income. You can't live with $1,000 a month when the water bill was 3 times higher. Thank you.
Thank you for coming out. Okay.
Sure, I'm not gonna address this, but, if no one's gonna comment. So the only thing I can say about the rates and whatnot is, Kim Domingo, he's our general manager here, and you brought up a lot of concerns, so perhaps you can just look to schedule a meeting with him. You commented that there were no leaks you had there, whatnot, and your numbers were going up. We did just recently have a rate increase for the whole community. So you can, maybe discuss that with him. But the other part about it too, we all pay the same rates. Whether we're directors or not, or people in the community, we all pay the same rates. So anything you're talking about, you're going through, from a dollar standpoint for the utilities go, we pay the same thing, sir. So maybe you could set up an appointment with the general manager here, Kim Domingo, and they can run your bills there and take a look at them. I had a leak at my home, and the lady sitting next to him, she's the administrative director. She was able to call and tell me I had a leak, and they almost pinpoint the window. So perhaps they could share that information with you also. They can tell you by your meter, when your meter's spinning, and maybe if you're out working, you don't know that, or there could be a whole host of things, but I'm saying, use the services that are available to you and all of us in the community. Reach out to them and see what they can do to help.
Yeah, absolutely. I totally understand your frustration. But can I get your phone number? Can I get your phone number?
661 350 1566.
And what, so I'll call you and we'll set up a meeting and I'll explain all the things, try to address all the things that you talked about. But in a nutshell, what Director Webb said is true, and there is a process. There's a process in which fees get increased and the public's notified, and the board takes action based on the response from the public. So one of the things that we're required by law is not to charge only what is legally, only what the amount that you're charged is what it costs, no more than that. So, that's probably the only thing that I can share with you related to the quantity, but it is true, we just raised this is the last year of a 5-year rate increase where it was raised every time. And we're actually gonna look again later on this year at another rate study that I would encourage you to participate in so that you understand the process.
Yeah, but, because also, talking to people in Lancaster, Mojave, they pay way less, at least 75% less than we are doing here. This, and I don't look, and I understand why, because we don't have no representation, so this board is work like here. I mean, and I see in the bulletins once in a while, they said they're gonna need more money for the reclamation plan, updated, they never use it, they spent $10 million before, they've got collect another $10 million to update it. Now, they're gonna come to, that's why they use any excuse to increase us, and this is their own portion.
You bring up a lot of points, and I think it would be beneficial, just to take some time and spend it with you, and just kind of go over each one of those things, because, I understand, totally understand your concerns.
Yeah, because, I understand, because the basic and the public response. Public response. How many people have time to come to the meeting? Because mom and dad had to work, they had no time, they say they spend a little bit of time with families, they cannot come to the meeting. Usually, because if they don't come, they assume everything's fine, but it's not. If you have a flat rate, are we more reasonable than you had used 400 square foot, and then in the next level, you almost double that lower level. Is it's that much you put through 3 times, and the price of wow, that's very unconscious. That's the way I look at it. And like I say, Mojave paid a lot less because my son lives over there. My sister-in-law lives in Lancaster. I said, you don't rip off. But AV is already here. So they're working together with this district. They know how to, but like I said, we don't have no voice for Bakersfield, so I don't know how they control this, so they have us overview, nothing. I mean, yes, it's unfortunately, it's what it is.
I would really encourage you, I'll reach out to you and we'll sit down.
Mhm. Okay,
Thank you.
thank you.
so much for coming.
Okay. All right, I'm gonna close public comments and I'm gonna open the thing to voluntary public roll call via teleconference. If any member of the public on the telephone or telephone or video conference would like to identify that they're present for the meeting, now is the time. Okay, none. Consent calendar, CC1, review of the check voucher, registered date August 19th through September 1st, and payroll deposit August 27th, CC1. And CC2, approval of general manager expense report for the Tri-State Conference. Do I have a motion to approve CC1 and CC2? Motion made by Director Wood. Do I have a second?
Second.
Second by Director Glennon. All those in favor say aye. Aye. All those opposed? Motion passes 5-0. Minutes. M1 through M6. M1, Finance Committee on August 11th. August 11th, Wastewater Committee. M3 is the regular board meeting from August 13th. M4, August 20th, Personnel Meeting. And M5, Government and Community Relations Committee meeting. And M6, the regular board meeting on August 27th. Do I have a motion to approve M1 through M6?
Motion approved.
Motion made by Director Webb. Do I have a second?
Second.
Second by Director Wood. All those in favor say aye. Aye. All those opposed? Motion passes 5-0. New business, MB1, approval of the backhoe loader bid documents and authorized advertisements to bid. Presenter Kim Domingo.
Thank you, Mr. President. This is a budgeted item. It's in the capital budget. We put together a bid package that, it's gonna be more than $60,000 for this, $75,000 for this. So therefore, we have to go out to an advertised bid. So, this is what the document is shown in there. We're gonna advertise, in the AV Press, that's September 9th and 19th and 26th. In the AV Press, and the bid opening will be October 14th. recommend you approve.
Any discussion?
Yeah, discussion. Is this gonna be an electric tractor? I'm just asking, I know it's not, sir, it's just that everything you look at now is battery, so.
No.
So I do, well, you know what, I'll say that for our conference, for our director's report, so we're good.
I got a question. So we're replacing the existing one?
No, we're gonna keep the existing one, but we're going to, purchase a new.
Which to it? Because this is pretty much used almost on a daily basis. It
Yes.
needs to go out. This
Yes.
is a critical piece of equipment. to
Well, it's a
have.
critical piece of equipment, plus, the existing piece of equipment, we have had a lot of, unexpected repairs on it, and it's not been very reliable. John, you have anything to add to that? Are you there? I see. Oh. Well, according to the Public Works Director, when talking about this, he's the one, it was his department and his staff that recommended that we include it in the capital budget. And the reason is because there were a lot of, this piece of equipment, existing piece of equipment has had a lot of repairs and a lot of downtime.
I have some comments, but I would like to refer them in the director's report, in agenda items, and I don't think that'll be the time to bring it up. And, but I think it's a good buy. I looked over the spec, and are they gonna be making any more changes on the tier levels for the diesel engines, or is this gonna be good for a while?
That I don't know specifically, but it, part of the specs is that it has to meet the current.
The current ones, but they can change tomorrow.
Yeah.
The new carpet plans goes in 2027, but you're kind of grandfathered.
Yeah.
If you, as far as I know, you're grandfathered in prior to purchase.
Yeah.
This is John, can you hear me?
Yes, John.
Sorry, I was having problems getting unmuted there. So yes, we would like to keep this other backhoe and use it out at the wastewater treatment plant, because the current backhoe is in use every single day. And if we need one out at the wastewater plant, then we're having to rent one. The amount of problems that we've had with maintaining this one, it seems like it's time to replace it, and it would be perfect for something that's not used daily, but the current one that we have is used daily. It's driven every single day down the roads fixing water lakes.
Any more discussion? Okay, can I get a motion to approve MB1?
So move.
Motion made by Vice President Washington. Do I have a second?
Second.
Second, Director Wood. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. All those opposed? Motion passes 5-0. NB2, approve change orders 1 and 2 to the construction contract for West Valley Construction for the Arsenic Consolidation Phase 1 project. Presenter Kim Domingo.
Thank you, Mr. President. So, there's two change orders before you for this project. One is for time, or excuse me, the first one is to substitute gate valves for the butterfly valves that were in the design. And that is requested, for a couple of reasons. One is that the district actually prefers the gate valves. And the second reason, is because there's a lead time issue on the butterfly valves that would, and you'll see that's gonna be reflected in the next change order, but the difference in cost between the two valves is about $7,500. This is a grant-funded project, so none of this comes out of district funds. This is totally paid for by the state. And then the second change order is for the additional time that's needed because of long lead items. You will be surprised to hear that fire hydrants and valves are apparently very, very long lead items now, and they become an issue and not necessarily off the shelf items, need more. So the second change order is a no cost change order, but it adds 74 calendar days to the calendar. to the completion date. So instead of, October 9th, the completion date is extended to December 19th, 2020.
What is the reason that they're giving for the long lead time on fire hydrants? Is it the brass components or things of that nature, hard to get materials?
Now, that would be a manufacturer level issue. It's just the suppliers cannot get them guaranteed delivery time. They just can't get it.
Yesterday.
I have a suggestion for you.
Yeah.
They keep running them over in the valley. Go get the ones they run over. They keep knocking them down the valley, sir.
Refurbish those.
Greg, this is John.
Yeah, John?
Greg?
Yeah,
I was just I want to let you know that most all of our waterworks parts, our angle stops, our valves, everything, since COVID has really been bad. And it's gotten better, but there's still extreme long times. We waited, almost a month and a half to get a 6-inch meter. So,
well, that's hopefully that they'll finally get that supply chain problem worked out in the near future.
yeah, it'd be nice.
Thank you, John. Any more?
We had one comment, we wanted to highlight that, up to this date, everything on this project has been reimbursed from the state.
Yes.
And that's the direction we've been moving.
Good point. All right, do I have a motion to approve MB2?
Motion approved, sir.
Motion made by Director Webb. Do I have a second? Second by Director Wood. All those in favor say aye. Aye. All those opposed? Motion passes 5-0. MB3, approval of change order number 1 to task order 2023-1 for plan check services with Kenny Jenks. Presenter Kim Domingo.
Thank you, Mr. President. So back in July of 2023, the board approved a master services agreement with Kennedy Jenks, which for tasks that would be done on a task order basis. The plan check services were approved on the same meeting, and it was initially set up for $20,000. Time and materials absent. We gentleman talked about development. He's absolutely right. There's a lot of development going on. We have a lot of plans that need to be reviewed and approved by the district. So we've already expended those $20,000. So we're asking for another $20,000, only to be spent on an as-needed basis on time machines.
No, is that $20,000 per fiscal year, or is that $20,000 and then once it's gone, then you come back and ask for more?
Yep.
So
Yes.
since 2023, July 2023, we've only spent $20,000
Yep.
for that consult.
Plan checks.
Okay, thank you.
And just to add to that, the developers pay a plan check fee, so it is reimbursed.
Good.
Thank you, John, for that.
Right. Any discussion? Okay, we have a motion to approve MB3. Motion made by Director Wood. Do I have a second? Second, Director Glennon. All those in favor say aye. Aye. All those opposed? Motion passes 5-0. MB4, approval of Myrtle and Melvin Water Service Replacement Project bid documents and authorize the advertisements to bid. Presenter Kim Domingo.
Thank you, Mr. President. This is very similar to what we did at Trickle Track, where we replaced leaking water services. This is for the streets Melvin, Myrtle, and Edwards. Would be the east, the west half of Edwards Avenue, as shown on the cover sheet. But this is to replace. How many are there?
$100 and something.
I'm sorry, it's around 50.
50, okay.
Around 50 services. The the estimate, the engineer's estimate is $538,000. The budget is $537,000. Again, we're not gonna know the actual cost until we actually open bids. So I am recommending that you approve the advertisement at this time, and then we'll look at the bids and see if we need to do any budget adjustments.
And that housing tract was built in 1989, so it's
Time.
time. Okay, any discussion?
No.
Okay. Do I have a motion to approve MB4 as stated?
Motion approved, sir.
Motion made by Director Webb. Do I have a second?
Second?
Second, Director Wood. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed? Motion passes 5-0. MB5, charge off of uncollectible accounts receivable pursuant to policy 3031. Presenter Kim Domingo.
I think actually the director of administration will present this.
Would be So this item is related to a charge of uncollectible accounts receivable that were identified by staff. There are 5 accounts that meet the criteria outlined in policy 3031, which gives us the authority to charge off uncollectibles for certain reasons. 4 delinquent sewer dumper accounts, and I don't know if you guys recall that we used to allow the septic haulers to dump out of the wastewater plant. When the wastewater plant became water reclamation plant was upgraded, we no longer allowed that to happen. There were delinquent accounts. Some of the septic haulers had gone out of business. These were balances that were way from 2012 to 2018, and that just couldn't be located. Account notes indicate that multiple attempts were made, but the payments weren't resolved. This was basically identified by iDaily. The accounts were sitting in our company 2, which is not for all the active accounts. I don't know the reason why it was delinquent and not charged off sooner. I don't have that information for you. The 5th account on this charge off has to do with a deceased account holder where staff is unable to identify any other responsible party. So the total balance recommended for write-off is $13,089.57, and under policy 3031.4, it requires board approval. And I got a detailed listing of the accounts that are attached to this. Staff recommends that the board of directors approve the charge-offs identified. Okay, let me read this. Uncollectible debt write-offs are a financial reporting adjustment and do not constitute forgiveness of debt or a gift of public funds. If a previously written off account is later collected, it will be treated as a new revenue in the appropriate fund. And staff recommends that the charge-offs identified be charged off.
All right, discussion.
I do have a question more than a discussion point, sir. I see what these are, and I see the amounts. Would it hurt us at all, since we couldn't find them? Take them to court, get a lien against them, and we hold the lien. And in the event that these folks come back and go back into business, we always have the liens sitting up there. Because I know the sewer folks, the person just deceased that happened, that's life. But these other business people, they could easily go start for another business or whatnot or whatever. But my question is, if it would cost more money than that there, but something you file the lien, you file a claim, small claims court, if we still have them with. John, are you on the phone still, sir?
I am, yes.
Are you familiar with the small claims court amount number, the dollar amount?
Oh, I think it's 10 grand.
Okay, so I would say we could look at maybe when these get to that point, go over there, file small claims court. If we can't get in touch with them, they're not gonna show up. We get a judgment, we hold that judgment.
The equipment that we have should be in a work order system and spitting out a work order when it's time for oil changes, brakes, vehicle inspections. Same thing with our equipment, especially our Vector or combo trucks. They have a maintenance schedule that has to be kept in. So I would like to see brought back for a future agenda to see about maybe doing one of two things, depending upon what our general manager, finds out, is hire a safety, a fleet consultant to come in and, like we did with Fisher, and to look over the fleet, look over all the maintenance records, see where we can improve and do things better to where we can maybe reduce some of our maintenance and some of our breakdowns. And also, our fleet is getting big enough to where maybe there's a possibility that we might want to entertain bringing in a fleet mechanic to take care of the fleet, take care of all the vehicles, the heavy equipment, and do all the maintenance on that. So that's what I'd like to have for a future agenda item for discussion and be able to give direction to our general manager on which direction we'd like to go as a board. That's all I have.
Thank you. I'll go next. I'm just looking forward to the Armed Forces Day
Armed Forces Appreciation Day and Vendor Fair.
and dinner thing. I'm gonna let you say that one again. Formerly known as September Fest. So I'm looking forward to that. I'll be working the booth. And that's about it. Sir,
You took the words right out of my mouth.
that's why I did. I saw your notes.
I guess it's no longer called September Fest, huh?
Correct. I
Yeah.
just found that out. I did not.
Right. But at any rate, I encourage the public to come out. We will have a booth in place and I will be out talking water conservation. So look forward to seeing you out there, Mr. Almost. Mr. Almost, is that right? You have a son, Julian?
Was that
You have a son, Julian?
Julian?
You do?
So he's my nephew.
Okay, I coached him.
How about Danny? Do you have a Danny or a Freddie?
Danny?
Yeah, Danny, Freddie, one of those two?
Yeah, Holmes, he's my nephew.
All right. Yeah, that's all I have.
Thank you. All right, last but not least.
You cannot forget the one, Jerry,
Yes, sir.
put me down for setup in the first shift,
Thank you.
please. Yes. Okay, so a few things. First of all, I would like to compliment the Roseman football team. Folks, if you get a chance, those kids look good and they're working hard. I appreciated the game they played. We look very, very good. And we tend to talk about young folks maybe very, very bad in things. You have to give them a prop. If you get a chance, it's going to be $8 where I'll spin out there at the game. Bob Vincelette, he brought up at our football meeting at the Powder Puff games that's coming up. That's when the junior girls play the senior girls in the flag football game. If you want to see something funny, get in touch with Bob in the school and find out when the Powder Puff football game is. They forget they're playing flag. It's a fun day out there, but what I'd like to bring up, this goes back to the record winning. He brought up, Theismann, totally cool guy. He likes his Super Bowl ring. Every picture you see him, he has a ring prominently placed so you can see it. But the Montgomery guy, I don't have exact wording, but you kind of get the point. He basically at one point, Byron, if you remember the exact wording, or Mr. General Manager, he says, people don't care about what you're doing till they know that you care about this. I don't know the exact words that were kind of placed. They go back what you guys said about the general manager. You can have the greatest program, the greatest thing, but until people know you give a hoot about their well-being, you're just a person, wah, 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 wah. So I thought that was pretty good. Good touch on what you had, Byron. But I thought that was a pretty good thing there. The other thing I have is that we've taught surplus property around this district for forever and forever. I attended a seminar at the Special Districts Conference. Thanks for letting me go there, folks. It's not as complicated as we've been led to believe. There's avenues pursued, and Sherry, Mr. General Manager, once I find the folder, put the notes in, I'll share it with you folks because it's complicated, but it's not as complicated as we had initially thought in the beginning. We have to jump through hoop and loops, and I'll share that with you. And the last thing, and this is for future, Mr. General Manager, I would like for you to have one of the committees maybe look at it, because it's the future of all our industries, battery equipment. I spoke to the guy at the air quality district there, and he says now that they have batteries that run. I know at one point we talked in one of the committees about how, just one of the trucks, about how big the batteries would have to be on it. But the guy at the air quality table that I had spoken to, he said that's the future of a lot of the equipment, and maybe it'd be good for us one of the time to be ahead of a curve than behind or in the middle of the curve, to start looking at it now, because it seems to be everything I read about it now, everything has some kind of battery operating component to it. But overall, the conference was good, and the other part I like about it, and we've said it at all the conferences we go to, when you go there, you hear and you see how other people are doing their business. And our general manager, that was his first one, he was there, and he was all over the place, and it's kind of nice to be able to say, yeah, that's my general manager over there, the guy from UC Berkeley, because there was a guy, let me tell you when I came up, Mr. Kim, some guy was talking about one of the colleges, wherever, not like a little kid, well, my GM went to Berkeley. So when you're at the table, I say, so it's like, you know, yeah, well, your general manager went to Trade Tech, well, mine went to UC. Anyway, that's what I had, and thanks very much for letting me attend the conference.
General Counsel update, John Comar.
Well, since I can't top Joe Theismann or a magician, I'm gonna say nothing tonight.
Thanks, sir. General Manager update, Kim Domingo.
Thank you, Mr. President. Just a comment on Director Webb, talking to some of the other folks at the CSDA about where I went to school. I kept telling him I don't have enough money on me to pay you for what you're saying about me. So,
And the bragging is easy, sir. The bragging is easy, the payment.
appreciate that.
Yes, sir.
Just a few things. Just to let you know that Mr. Almost brought up, the rates, and we actually are getting ready to send out the RFP for the rate study, the next upcoming rate study, that's going to apply to, rates starting in fiscal year 26, 27. So, that RFP is gonna go out tomorrow to selected consultants. That's number one. Number two, the Finance Committee not entertained, but heard a presentation from SoCal Ren. They are it's an energy consulting opportunity that's funded through Edison. And it's no cost for them to come and perform, for example, pump tests, look at our overall energy use, recommend any improvements to operations and things like that. So, and it's, so I just wanted to inform the board that I did sign an agreement with them. It's non-binding, so whatever, it doesn't cost us anything. It gives us the opportunity to utilize their services that you already paid, that ratepayers already paid for, because it's actually provided by Edison, and I'm almost for certain that it comes through rates. So, then the last thing I wanted to
Let me respond to that. Being in the committee meeting, it looked to me like there's clearly some savings we can probably make. And their organization is going to evaluate us for nothing and then show where we can maybe make some things. I think it's
The thing that impressed me in that presentation was the fact that, they deal with water agencies, they deal with all kinds of agencies, sewage treatment plants, everything else. But they put one agency that they dealt with, and they got them a 30% reduction in their energy use after doing an evaluation. And, if they can come in and do for free, doing an evaluation on our agency, and they can put on paper that if we go with their plan, that we can save 30% off our energy bill, then, it's a win-win for us. And like Kim said, it's non-binding, And they're gonna come in and do it for free, and if we don't like what we see, we don't have to move any forward with them, but if we do like what we see, then we go ahead and go from there. So, but I was impressed with, you know, how they operate, and it looks like, you know, could be some promising things coming up as far as energy savings, especially at our treatment plant.
My third item is we received a code violation notice for Diamond Street for excess, for a public nuisance. And basically, the property was pretty, I don't know if it was weeded over, but I know that there was a lot of trash and dumping and all that stuff there. So as of this afternoon, that has all been cleaned up, just to let you know. And then finally, I wanted to also thank the board for sending me to CSDA. Actually, it was my second CSDA conference. The first one I went to was the leadership conference last year in Anaheim, where I got to connect with a lot of folks that I've known throughout the years. So it was really helpful to connect and network with them. There were some really good sessions that I was able to attend that are going to inform some decisions that we make in the future. I'll get into more of those as they come up, but that's all I have.
Thank you. Director of Administration update, Sherry Tim.
Thank you, Mr. President. We had 13 delinquent accounts this month that were shut off for non-payment, which I really like seeing those numbers low like that. I think it's a great, we're doing a great outreach service to our customers. Just a reminder, we talked about the Armed Forces Appreciation Day Parade and Vendor Fair. That is Saturday, September 20th. The parade begins at 9 a.m. and the event runs from 9 a.m. to 3 p.m. And this year the district is participating in the Great Shakeout on October 16th. So put that on your calendars, 10/16, there's gonna be some shaking happening. We encourage.
So wherever you're at, you need to stop, get underneath your whatever.
Drop and cover. And that's the end of my report unless there's any other questions.
Okay.
Thank you.
Public Works update, John Houghton.
Yes, so as Kim was saying about the Diamond Street building, we did have a code enforcement where people were dumping trash, couches, and other household trash out on the back of the property there. We did get it all cleaned up today. Since our last meeting, the Public Works has responded to 101 work orders, which 28 of those were water leaks. They've completed 3,500 feet of sewer cleaning, and we did 13 lock-offs, as Sherry mentioned, and we continue to install the new Metron meters. And that's all I have, if you have any questions.
John, real quick, I know we had talked about fencing up the property when we started. Are we able to, is there money, Mr. General Manager, for us to fence it all off? So we don't have the trash and nothing, no, not the vacant lot, but maybe the building part of it where I guess they were dumping trash.
We can look at that.
Okay. Thank you.
All right. Thank you, John. If there's nothing else for the good of the meeting is adjourned, 6:54.
And I think that really is not a good statement to come from a director to say our employees' health we're paying too much for our employees' health. I mean, our employees are the foundation of the district, not us sitting up here at the dais. And they had a prediction of the coming water. They went to 2 almanacs, and the almanacs didn't agree with each other based on the older one and the newer one. And they have a contest there of who can predict what the water year is going to be like. And our director, Keith Dias on the district, on AVAC, was very positive. He said, we expect a 40% allotment this coming year. And that really is very optimistic, I think. And I was wondering if at some point we might want to have a contest with our directors to predict what the water year is going to be like, you know. Anyway, I really enjoyed the conference, and thanks for sending me. That's all.
Dr. Wood? Okay, I have, one thing that I'd like to bring up before I get into the other. I was, notified by Aqua. They invited me to sit on one of their committees. And so I went ahead and filled out the application and got it signed by Kim and sent it through, and they will let me know sometime, I guess in December or whatever, that they've accepted me to be on one of their committees to volunteer. And one is on the groundwater committee, water quality, and water conservation. And you had to list the 3 choices and see if they picked me for one or not, but I wanted to make the board aware that I'm pursuing that. And the second thing that I wanted to bring up was going back to the backhoe. And I called and talked with Kim earlier today, and I noticed that because of the repairs the backhoe needs, and you know, I will say that Case tends to have a few maintenance issues over different brands, but we won't go there. But my question is that back in 2019, the board had asked for us to bring in a fleet consultant to look at our fleet, look at our maintenance records, look at the maintenance that we're doing on the vehicles,